Susan and I recently moved Wild and Woke's hosting platform to Anchor and are loving every second of their user-friendly, minimalistic approach to podcasting.
Anchor offers creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. They also take the hassle out of distributing your podcast to well-known platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many more by doing it for you.
Not only is Anchor completely free, you can also earn money from your podcast without a minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And remember, all stories start somewhere. Be wild, stay woke, and question everything.
I heard that
Ass and titties and big
I heard
boosty
that from the
bitches.
other room, and I was like, is that Nuck if you buck?
It's ass and titties, but I mean, we can get real wild.
Oh my god. Alright, hold on. Let me pull this closer. Okay, how do I sound?
What do you find? Sound real fine, girl.
Okay, girl, because I've readjusted my mic. How are you?
Good. How are you? How was your Xmas?
It was really good. It was really low key. It was just me and Rich, no family. I got him some clothes, and haven't we talked since Christmas?
Honestly, I don't even fucking remember.
Yeah, because I told you that Rich made me that thing for the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm a bad friend.
Okay, you have a baby.
Yeah, that's my
That's your
excuse. I have a
excuse for everything.
baby. Jesus.
So what's new with you?
Well, I went to go see our friend Kate today, and all I'm going to say is she is the baddest bitch. As soon as I walked in the door, well, first I texted them to say I was here because I didn't know about, the whole Zeke situation. Zeke is their dog.
Right.
And I was like, hey, Kevin, I'm here. And then Kevin comes out to greet me, and we go inside, and it's just the most calming, peaceful, zen environment I've ever walked into in my whole entire fucking life. Alex is sleeping. Kate's just fucking chilling on the couch. Zeke greets me kindly. He's giant. I didn't know he was that huge. I thought I was going to die.
Huge.
He put his head in my lap, and I was just like, Jesus. But, yeah.
He's bigger than Kate.
Yeah. So
Wait,
it was
Gordon go with you?
No, he wasn't feeling too well, so he stayed home. And I refused to pick up the baby because as soon as I saw him, instantly I was like, gotta have 5 more.
Oh my god.
I was like, no, can't do this.
I
can't pick him up. He was asleep the whole time too. And then he woke up and Kevin changed him, and Kevin's, oh my God, he's just the best fucking dad, dude. I can't believe it. And I mean, I can because it's Kevin.
He was
But
made for this.
he was totally made for this. He was in his element, 110%. It was, I don't know. And it was just so peaceful and quiet. And Kate was like, I want another one. Kevin's like, no.
Wait,
Kevin
Kate went through all that and she still wants another one?
Oh yeah. She's like, I want to give him a brother or sister. I just love him so much. And I was like, oh my God, my heart is melting. I wish I could be half the mom she is. She is stunning. I cannot. And she looks gorgeous. It's I show up and I'm like, she's been in the hospital. Maybe she looks not okay. No.
Gorgeous.
She's on fire, just fucking hot as hell. I'm like, okay, well, here's me and my, oh my God, Kate and I were wearing our matching, well, not matching on purpose, but I was wearing my white trash beer flower shirt, and she was wearing her coffee flowered shirt that we bought from your store.
Stop.
Not on purpose.
Oh my God. True BFFs.
Yeah.
I don't have a store anymore, but when I did, I had a boutique, and these girls killed it. They basically kept my store afloat.
Well, you sold really good stuff though, but we were wearing our shirts at the same time. I was like, oh my God, bitch, I'm wearing the same shirt as you.
I love it. I'm glad that
Yeah.
you got to see her. I wish I could, but I am not in Florida.
Oh, well, yeah, it's lame here anyways, so lucky you.
But I knew she was going to kill motherhood. Her and Kevin both were made for this. Everything in their life led them to this
I know.
point. I love them. Okay. So this is just going to be a short little episode. But
Yay.
yay, I don't know what we're gonna call it yet because I feel like listener stories is kind of taken, and then like hometown stories is kind of taken. So I'm gonna figure out a name, but it's basically listener stories. But today it's gonna be my story and Ariana's story. So.
It's a chode story, if that's allowed to be said. Yeah, we have some chode stories because they're short and sweet.
I don't know if iTunes.
That's probably not. That's probably not appropriate. Chode story of the week.
So I'm gonna eat my quesadilla. You want to tell your story first?
Yeah, so I'll go first. Okay. So this story it's fairly recent. It's like a year old. Mine's like a spooky story.
Ooh.
So it's from when I worked on the oncology unit where I first started off as a nurse. So it happened like about like a period. It's like a period of time from basically like 2 years ago. So the hospital that I work at, the building that I was in, if you imagine like an oval, that's kind of like how the unit is shaped. And on the outside of the oval are all the patient rooms. And on the inside of the oval, there's the nursing station. A really easy way to think of it is like that.
How many rooms is it?
36.
Okay.
And I worked night shift because you're new and it's easy to get a job. If you're like, yeah, I'll fucking stay awake. Like you say stupid shit like, I just sleep better this way. And like everyone knows you're lying because no one functions like that. They're like, yeah, okay, bitch, you're just there for the money. It's fine. So on the left side of the unit, on your oval, everyone draw a picture of the oval like I'm explaining. On the left side are rooms like 1 through, I don't even remember anymore, like 1 through whatever. And then the other side of the oval are like the other half. Math. And when I first started off, it was hard because for the new nurse, it was a multi-system oncology unit. So that meant like if anybody had cancer, they could come to our unit. It wasn't like, oh, they have heart problems, so they're just going to go to the heart unit. Oh no, they also have kidney cancer. That's a cancer patient. So we'd get all kinds of fucked up people. And like a lot of people would die. We'd have a lot of codes, a lot of death here. And it made me...
On average, how long do those people stay?
It would depend on like how sick they were and what they were doing there, like their reasoning. So if it's like a new cancer diagnosis, they could be there maybe like a couple of weeks, depending on how sick they are. And then they just get some treatment and go home. Or it's like people that come in specifically for treatment and then they go home. Or it's like end of life care, almost like a hospice where the families aren't ready to send their family members to hospice, or it is a pre-hospice type of thing where it's like they're really sick, the doctors finally tell them they're going to die, then they do go to hospice, or they just die with us. So I've seen a lot of death. I've seen a lot of codes, some good, some bad. So with that, we had like one side, the side of with all the smaller numbers was always like the dead people side. I don't fucking know why. It just always happened that way when I would work and people would die. They would always die on that side. Only once did someone die on the opposite side of the unit, which to me was like kind of weird. Yeah, because everyone always dies on the other side. And the first person that was there, he was there for a really long time. He was really sick and like everyone basically knew him. Everyone had had him as a patient before. And he was in room like towards the end of the oval, so like in the teens. So I want to say he was either like 12 or 13. And one night I was just talking to him like, whatever. And mind you, we're on the 10th floor. So we're not like on the floor, like on the ground floor. We're up in the sky. And we're just talking or whatever. And I don't know how we got on the topic because it's night shift. I usually, depending on how awake they are, I would talk to them or not. And then the conversation I have is not, hey, how was your day? Because your day fucking sucks. You probably got chemo. You're probably like, dying on the inside, literally. Like, hey, how's your day? Well, I'm at the hospital. So I would try to have like more open, different conversations. And so I don't know how we got on the topic of ghosts, but we did. And he asked me, everyone always likes to ask, how long have you worked here? And I always be like, I don't want to say, hey, I'm brand fucking new. Trust me with your
Just
life.
started yesterday.
It's actually my first day, bitch.
Just graduated nursing school.
Actually, I'm still in school. I don't know. I'm not even employed. But I was like, yeah, I've been here for a bit. And he was like, oh, well, have you ever seen or heard anything weird? And I was like, nope, not really. Because the hospital is also like brand new. It's a new like building and everything. So I'm thinking, and it looks nice. It's not like some dingy bitch like place. And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, I've seen things. And I was thinking that he was talking like in his lifetime. And I was like, oh, like, what did you see? And he's like, well, one night I was sleeping and I woke up and someone was knocking on my window.
What?
And I was like, oh, that's so scary. I was like, well, do you have shades at your house or were they just open? And he's like, oh, no. That was here. And he was completely awake, like not awake. He was alert and oriented. He wasn't confused. He had no confusion issues, no like sundowners or, dementia, nothing. He was totally with it. And he was telling me this story and I couldn't look at the window because I was so afraid to even glance that way. So long story short, he eventually gets discharged and goes home to die. And we get, more patients. Like the turnover is so quick. We got another patient in that same room like a while later. And he was a little bit confused, but I had him 3 nights in a row and he would always get up out of bed every 5 seconds. The bed alarm's going off. It was getting to the point where like you were just stuck in there and he was confused. He didn't know who he was. He didn't know where what was happening. Like he knew nothing. And so then one night I'm in there, I'm about to like take his vitals and I'm standing at the foot of his bed to come around to put his blood pressure cuff on the left side. The machine was on the right side. And I'm standing like towards the edge of his bed on the right side. And he's like, hey, can you tell them to get out of here? And I was like, oh, there's nobody in here. And he's like, no, yeah, there's people behind you and they're making me, and he's having, mind you, he doesn't talk and he's telling me, and like, I'm dumb as fuck. I'm just like having a conversation with someone I haven't had a conversation with in 3 days. Like it's as normal as can be. And he's like, no, yeah, can you tell them to get out? They're bothering me. I don't want them in here anymore. And I was like, no, there's nobody here. And he's like, yeah, look at them. They're right behind you. And then at that moment, I realized what was happening. And I was like, I left. I'm not even going to fucking lie to you. I fucking left that room so fast to get somebody else to come in there with me. Because I just felt like cold shivers down my back. Like I could not explain it. It was the weirdest thing in the whole entire world. Once it hit me, I realized what was going on. And then I just freaked the fuck out. And mind you, it's a hospital. So like, I'm not the only person working there. There's a bunch of other people like in the hallways, all the lights are on. It's not like this dark, scary, dingy place, it's a hospital. So it's not like I had a reason to be creeped out other than that whole situation. But I all of a sudden just felt like so fucking like weirded out. And I made somebody else go back in there with me. And then when we go back, like obviously he's back to being confused. He doesn't say anything. There was like nobody was in the room at all. And the rooms are small. They're like the size of a bedroom, I would say. Yeah. I mean, they're big for a hospital, but like there was nobody in there. Like nobody ever came to visit him. He never had any family come, nothing. And he literally told me that there were people behind him. And we had a conversation when he had never had a conversation with anybody and wasn't oriented at all. And that really freaked me the fuck out.
That is wild.
And then the last thing that I have for my talking fast story is...
Wait, hold on. I have a question. Was that in the same room?
I think it was the same room or it was right next to it because it was right in that same area.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No, it's not.
And that's why you found a new job.
That's literally why I found a new job. I was like, job safety? I'm going to get fucking murdered by ghosts here. I can't live here at nighttime.
Oh my
God. And then like also, if I don't know if you've done night shift, right?
Oh girl, I'm about to tell some stories about working night shift.
See, like, you know how weird it is. Like as soon as like it's like 6 p.m. like as you're coming into work, it like the whole mood just changes. Like I don't give a fuck where you work and you work night shift. It's like a whole vibe change. And then even when it gets to be 6 a.m., like it changes again. I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah. And then the last one is, it's like kind of sad, but it's the first time I watched someone like die.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because there was a lot of dying.
I've
But
only
it was
watched
like,
someone die once.
yeah, I've seen it happen like a lot of times. But it was just really crazy to like be someone in charge of letting someone die, if that makes sense. Like your job as a nurse is to literally do everything that you can to help people and to keep them alive, but knowing that this person is going to die and you're supposed to just let it happen in the most safe and humane way is crazy. Like the family was there with the patient, and just like the moment that it happened, like I just knew because I was looking at her, and the family was praying over her, they're basically just asking God for a peaceful passing for her, and just to let her feel loved and to know that everyone was here for her and that it was all going to be okay. And in the middle of the prayer that the husband was doing, she died. And it was just like, I don't know, it was nuts. Like I didn't see anything. It's not some sort of like, seeing her spirit go away bullshit. It's just like you just notice like the body just changes completely. And
I'm sure it was really surreal.
It was crazy. And then like after that, like I told the family, and then like everyone broke down, and it was just like this, it was so emotional to be a part of something that's not even your family. Like, yeah, you take care of these people, and like when you do that, like I guess you kind of become their family for that 12-hour shift. Like you're kind of all they have at some point, but it's just so emotionally like crazy when you do actually care for these patients, like they are your own family, and you do build those bonds with them. It's amazing how touching it can be, like in that situation. I don't know. It's something that I think I'll never forget. Like out of my whole nursing career, I think is like the first time someone dies. I don't think you ever forget that, because it's just so like heart-wrenching, and like you watch what this family goes through. Even if the family is like, even if they know it's going to happen, once it does happen, it's wild.
Yeah, it's I've only experienced it once, and it was my first day as a CNA.
Oh my God, I would have quit. I would have fucking quit so fast. Nah, dog, I'm out.
It was
so fast. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was my first day. It was really fucked up, and it was a husband and wife, and they shared a room, and like they knew the husband was gonna pass any day. So I came on to shift, and we're doing training. I'm training with another CNA and a nurse, and we go in and check him, and everything's fine. And then like an hour later, we go back in, and he's dead. Yeah, and it was just wild to me because I mean, obviously,
isn't it crazy? Like you see them alive, and then you come back, and then they're dead. It's just nuts.
It's nuts, and you're right. There's a difference in the body and like how it looks. And what was weirdest to me was,
and it's not, I want to clarify, it's not like movie cinematic dead. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that at all.
It's just different. It's so hard to explain. It's just different. But I did not know, as a young naive CNA, my 9 months of training up until that point, that the orifices.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you don't, Google it. Because I'm not going to talk about
South Park does some stuff.
The stuff happens.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. Whew. And I had to clean him up and get him ready for the.
Yeah, that's also like a thing. We play music because the body still does stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so we play music also for like the patient, because we think that maybe they want to hear something. I don't know.
He pooted. I mean, it's obviously
yeah.
He's passed, and he did not fart, but the body is releasing what, gases?
Yeah.
I mean, and it really fucking scared me because I was in there with this guy, and it was my first day experiencing anything medical. let alone death. And I mean, God,
Yeah.
it was just wild. But anyway, that is not one of my stories. That's just me experiencing death.
Yeah, like it's just I don't know. But yeah, the body is just so weird. Even like up until death, the body's just a weird situation.
I didn't know your fingernails kept growing after death either. I mean, not
Yeah.
after death, but like after you pass.
Yeah, like they just keep going.
Ooh, okay. Anyway, so are you done with your stories? Do you have more?
Yeah. I want to hear yours now. I'm really excited.
Okay, wait. So I guess this might be a little longer than normal because I want to do the 2 that I have working as a CNA, and then I want to do St. Augustine.
Oh my God, please do St. Augustine. This is
Okay.
what I'm living for.
Yes. Why did I just say that? I'm going to do St. Augustine. Okay, so the first one I have as a CNA is, well, there's 2 that happened in the same place, but it was all I was working night shift because that's when the weird shit happens. So it was me and one other nurse, or me, one other CNA, and a nurse because it was like just the medical ward. So I don't know, we didn't need a lot. It wasn't like Alzheimer's unit.
Right.
And so the call bell it was a horseshoe, and the nurse's desk is at the top. And then
Okay,
the
yeah, that
wings
makes
went
sense.
off to the side. Okay. So the call bell kept going off on the last room on my wing, and there was not anybody in that room. So I went down, turned it off, came back, and like 5 minutes later it went off again. This time I made the nurse go down with me. Because it was also right next to an exit door. And I mean, you can't get into that door from the outside, but I was still like weirded out. So we went in again and turned it off, and there was no one in there. And the CNA who I was working with had been there for a very long time, like since they built the place. And it wasn't that
Oh my
old.
God.
It wasn't
She is as old as those bricks.
But obviously there's a lot of death in nursing homes, and so of course it's haunted. But anyway, so he comes back from his break or whatever, and I was telling him about it. I'm like, this is wild. I don't know what's going on. He was like, girl, that room is haunted. Like I was a dumb bitch for not knowing that.
Are you gonna have dumb bitch-itis? It's haunted. The fuck?
He was like, that happens all the time on third shift. We try not to put anybody in that room, because the call bell will continue to go off, and we feel like we're going in there and bothering that resident if we have to keep turning it off. So we really like to keep that room empty unless we have to fill it. And I was like, y'all couldn't have told me that.
The fuck? Why is this not in the interview? The interview process. By the way, don't go into this room. It's haunted.
But that just creeped me out. Like, and it continued to happen. It was just a
Oh no
all the time occurrence, and people just knew about it. But when I was doing
that to me is weird too. How people are like, oh yeah, it's just haunted. Like no big deal. There's a spirit in there. Like everyone's just so chill about it. Like what happens if the spirit decides to grow spirit legs and move the fuck out of that room? Then what?
Right. And supposedly spirits don't stay in one location. So I don't know. And that was back when I was scared of literally everything. Like before I started getting into ghost and murder and shit like that, I was scared of you like touched me and I was scared. I was freaking the fuck out. And then I had to do my rounds by myself, of course, because there's only 2 CNAs in the unit. And so I get down there and I'm like doing my rounds, and I kept like looking behind my back at that door, making sure that nobody was standing there staring
my God.
at me. I don't know, it's fucked up. Okay, and then
How long did you work there?
It's my
Was it some of those
Probably.
jobs you just didn't quit and you just also didn't show up the next day for work?
Yes, that happened a lot when I was working as a CNA. I don't know. Did you have to work as a CNA before nursing?
No. I wish I did though, just so I would know how to fucking wipe ass.
I'm glad that I had to, because I became a CNA so I could go to nursing school. And I was like, well, let me just work as one, because like I don't want to work in the food industry. So I did, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't want to be a nurse.
Literally,
Also-
if you're a CNA, you're literally a nurse. You just don't have to pass meds. Like,
Right.
it's the same thing.
And you get paid barely anything.
You get paid shit to not pass meds. Like, okay.
Also, I failed anatomy and physiology 5 times, and I was like, you know what? Let me just do
Oh.
business.
Maybe it's not actually meant to be.
It's for the best. I think I was there maybe like 10 months. It was not long.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, but there was, as a CNA, or just really any medical facility where there's a lot of women, there's also a lot of unnecessary catty drama.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I was like fresh out of CNA school. I was 19. I was looking good. I was fit.
I was looking hot.
I was at my peak. I was looking hot, and these old biddies
Tits
that had been
perky.
CNAs for like 30 years, who smoked like 2 packs a day on their lunch
Name is
break.
like Cheryl.
Yeah,
Cheryl and Karen. God damn it, Susan.
they hated me, and so I did not last long at really any CNA place I went. It was really sad. I was picked on because I was pretty.
I was picked on because my tits were fire.
Oh my god, they were so tiny. Okay, anyway, so my next one, this is not going to be a short episode, but it's fine. Who gives a fuck?
It's okay. Can't call it like chode series then because they're not chodes. Growers, not showers.
Showers, not showers. So the next one was at the same place, and it was, I guess this kind of goes hand in hand. There was always a rumor that a black cat would show up in the patient's room before they were going to die. Like, they would see a black cat.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and that girl always happened. I remember one patient of mine, this was long-term medical, so these people did die a lot. She saw a black cat sitting on top of the wardrobe, and she told me about it, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm about to go get you
I'm gonna go get that code card.
And I'm not gonna come back. Anyway, she died the next day.
Oh my god.
It was so sad. She was really sweet, but yes. So I mean, every patient that says, "Oh, do you see that black cat? How's there a black cat in my room?" Oh, honey.
Oh, Hensie, you gonna die. You gonna die.
Sorry about that. Okay, that same patient, a few days before she died, and this might be like TMI. I'm not gonna go like in depth, but she pointed. I was wiping her down, and she pointed at my stomach, and she said, "That's gonna be a boy." And I was like, "Okay, bitch, you was crazy. I'm on birth control." Not gonna happen. And then 2 days later, I found out I was pregnant. Yeah. It was.
My god.
I know. It was wild. I can't even.
I think I would just shit myself.
I had always heard, though, that, like, kids and older people have a sense like that. Like a sixth sense almost. Like, because kids are they have nothing in their life to worry about. They're just, like, these open sources of energy. And then old people, they're so close to, like, the end of their life and, like, death. They have this sixth sense. And, anyway. So between that and the black cat thing, I was like, you know what?
I'm gone. Oh my god.
So yeah, those are my nursing home stories. Nursing homes are the worst places to work. Don't ever do it. It really took a lot out of me.
Honestly, it like decreases your lifespan by like 20 years.
That, and just don't put your family, like, if that's your last resort, cool. But if you put your family in a nursing home, they're going to die way faster than they originally were.
Yeah, that's so true. Unless it's like a really good one, you're going to feel like if it's going to be like a fuck ton of money, you can't even afford it.
My great-grandma was in one, and they had happy hour every day, and they would wheel her back to her suite in a wheelchair. And I was like, that's where... But, of course, it was in Florida, where all the old people are.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was in Tampa. Okay. You want to hear about St. Augustine?
Oh, fuck yes. I'm so excited.
We're at 30 minutes, so hopefully this will only be like 45 minutes long. Okay, so I went to St. Augustine in October for Rich and I's 1-year anniversary. We went for like 10 days and then went to go see you guys and Kate for her baby shower. So I really wanted to book a ghost tour because we did one when we went on our family vacation in New Orleans, right?
Yes.
And that was all right. I mean,
Okay, honestly, I think it would have been better. Okay, we went during Gay Pride in New Orleans, which number one was fucking great. We didn't go on purpose, but it was the best surprise we didn't know we needed.
Our husbands ate that shit up.
Oh yeah, fucking Gordon getting hit on left and right at the bar.
Rich got called a bear, and I'm pretty sure that made his vacation.
Oh yeah, fuck everything else we did, but that night, oh my god, the guys loved it. But I think that if it wasn't Gay Pride Week, it would have been a lot more spooky, scary because it wouldn't have been people all over the fucking place and loud as shit.
Yeah, it was loud, and we didn't really do our research about like which because there's so many ghost tour companies in New Orleans, and so we didn't really do our research. We just kind of like found this one and we did it. So he took us to like places, but our group was so large, it just wasn't personal, and he didn't get into he just really told the history of the place.
Yeah, it was more like a history tour than I mean, yeah, he went over the ghosts. Like we saw I always butcher this, the LaLaurie Mansion, LaLaurie.
Yeah.
Which is, if you don't know about that, I guess we could talk about that because that's a fucked up story. That is some fuckery. But it was crazy to see it in person. But also we started the tour in that area, so it was already kind of like daylight, so it wasn't as spooky as it could have been.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's the thing. This one we went on in St. Augustine was lit because it started at 9 p.m.
Okay, first of all, I've already been asleep, but yes, lit.
By the time it was over, I was like, oh, excuse me, Piper. Okay, so I'm going to tag all of her information, and I actually found her through Airbnb. I booked her through Airbnb.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and she had like hundreds of ratings on there and was 5 stars. So I was like, we need to fucking do this. Plus it said it was 2 hours and there was a shuttle, and I'm all about that.
Oh yes, no hiking, sign me up.
Sign me up. So we did it, and we get there, and she definitely would not have told us that she was a medium if there wasn't someone in the group that already knew her. And she was like, oh my gosh, because the other girl in the group was also a medium, so they were talking about like meetups that they go to. And so the tour guide was like, honestly, I probably would not have told you guys that because I feel like you're going to expect a lot out of me now. And she's like, honestly, some nights a lot does not happen, so I just want you to like be prepared. And she was telling us about like some things people had seen. First of all, there were only 10 people in the group, which was awesome because it was super personal and she knew our names. She gave us each a pendulum to hang somewhere on us. So I chose my purse, and then Rich chose his belt loop. And she said, tie as many knots as you want in it. And I did 6. I think Rich did like 5 because at the end
17.
of the night. What?
17 for Rich. He's like, it's not coming off. Fuck this.
Supposedly at the end of the night, like, knots would be missing, or throughout the tour your pendulum would fall off and you wouldn't notice it, because like energies and ghosts would pull on it. And we were like, well, this is probably bullshit. I mean, I'm excited because I believe in this stuff, but Rich is super skeptical. He's like, this is not gonna happen. This is dumb, but I'm gonna do it because I love you and it's our anniversary.
Oh, that's a man. That is a man.
He is so sweet. He's like, you're weird as shit for liking this stuff, but okay.
Yeah, right. All the judgment we get from our husbands. Yeah, okay, bitch.
Okay,
I just paid $400 for this tour, so.
It was pretty expensive. It was $90 for the 2 of us, but it was 2 hours with the shuttle, and it was fucking well worth it for the shit I'm about to tell you. So we start off at this well behind, like, in an alley. I don't know, St. Augustine's full of, like, little alley streets and old houses and shit. It's beautiful, but it's old as shit. So we get to this, like, well that's been filled in, and she starts setting up, like, baby dolls and, like, bouncy balls and those EMF readers.
Yeah.
She starts setting that up all around the outside of the well. And then she has, like, this, oh my god, what's it called? It's like a spirit box.
Oh,
You
fuck
can, like,
those, but yes.
have you heard of those?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
heard of them. They creep me out. That's
Fucking
like
love.
borderline Ouija board to me. Like, I don't fuck with that.
It is a little bit, but I fuck with that because that's like the most proof, along with the EMF readers that show like the energy levels. They're like red. If it's red, there's like no energy, and if it's green, there's energy near you. And she would test it by like putting her finger near it and taking it away. So she does that, and she tries to like get us to get excited because I guess ghost and paranormal, anything really, feed off of energy. And so she had us like doing crazy stuff, like bouncing up and down, and I don't know, just doing weird stuff. And this one guy volunteers to like act out like he's swimming. So he starts to act out, and
What?
the EMF readers are, he's nowhere near them, and they start picking up like energies. And so she starts talking because she says that she has 3 to 4 spirits in the city of St. Augustine that will follow her around and that she can like
Oh, no,
communicate
no, no,
with.
no, no.
Right. And she's a really sweet woman, and she has kids and a husband that supports her, and doing this business. And I mean, anyway, I didn't believe any of this at first. I was like, I've never met anyone who can like talk to the spirit world or whatever. So she starts like saying, "Oh, there was a little boy, a teenage girl, an older slave, and then an older like ship captain."
That is
So
like, I feel like that's the randomest
I
group
know,
of people. Like, there's a
I
ship
know.
captain following me. Can you hear his fucking doubloons in his pocket? Like, what, bitch?
She's like, they just find me, because they feed off of her energy, and anyway, they just find her. And so she starts talking, and she's asking like if it's them, if it's the little boy, can you come close to the EMF reader so it can pick up your energy? And I mean, it would. It wouldn't do it every time, but she would be like, don't be shy. So it would come and it would pick up his energy, and it would like beep really loud. And so the other guy is still acting out. Well, then all of a sudden, his pendulum
No.
friggin' rips off of his
No.
belt loop and flies. And all of us
Bitch.
just stand there and
Were you
stare.
scared at all?
Everyone was a little freaked out. I don't think we knew how to react because we honestly thought it was him, but we knew better because we were all staring at him, and his hands were nowhere near his belt loop.
Oh my
Okay?
God.
So it just flies off. And then the woman acted like it was fucking no big deal.
She's like, yeah, that was Tom.
Yeah, and I wish I could remember the little boy's name that she would talk to, but she was like, was that you? If it was, it's okay. Can you let us know it was you? And the thing like started lighting up again.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then she got out the spirit box, and you could hear like a girl's voice, an older man's voice, and like a little boy's voice. But it wasn't like full sentences. It was just like yeses and nos here and there when she would ask questions. And then you did hear their names when she asked them to say their names. She said, you heard their names,
Yeah.
which was pretty wild. Especially, I don't know, that's just wild to me. So we finish up there, and we're just walking around, and she's encouraging us to take as many pictures as we can, just because spirits follow energy, and we were a large group of people. So we're taking pictures like wherever we can, and then at the end of the night, she wants us to like all look through them and see if we see anything, which I have 2 pictures, and I'm pretty sure I showed you. Maybe not. I can't
Oh
remember.
no, I don't think I know you did show me them. Yes, I saw the fucking pictures.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's just freaking wild. This is the craziest experience I ever had. And by the end of the night, everyone was 100% into this. There were a lot of husbands there who like seemed pretty skeptical, but by the end of the night, everyone was like, this shit is wild. Even Rich was like, I feel like he got a little scared at one point towards the end.
I fucking would. I'm like, when you were telling me this and you showed me the pictures, I can't even fucking believe it. Because like you hear stories and like you hear people telling them and you're kind of like, okay, Sandy, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you actually like know somebody who's actually seen it and they're not bullshitting you, like that to me is what's fucking nuts.
Right. I agree because I had never like really experienced anything like this until this night. And Rich hadn't either. And I mean, he has a pretty open mind, but he's also a very skeptical person. So anyway, we're going through the city. She has us like lean up against this wall, which was in there was some kind of massacre near it, and you could still see like the bullet holes in the wall. So she has us touch it anywhere we feel like we need to touch it. She had us touch it, and I didn't really feel any kind of energy, but Rich did. He like leaned his back up against it, and he was like, "This feels wild." He's like, "I feel super connected right now." It was just weird. I didn't
And
feel
you said,
anything.
"Bitch, what's her name?"
Who is she?
Who is she?
Oh my god. So I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure that was the part, like, hold on, I'm gonna pause here. I can't remember. So we go from there. I'm pretty sure nothing else wild happened until we got to the lighthouse. And we couldn't actually go to the lighthouse because they do their own paranormal thing at the lighthouse, but we were at the park across the street, which she said is better than the lighthouse anyway. So we get there, we pull up. She's explaining to us she's going to let us roam for a little bit by ourselves and take pictures. She's like, there's two things. One, there's a tree here in the park that has really negative energy around it. And she was like, at the end of the night, I want to see if like you can pick up on that, and I'll tell you which tree it is. And then she's like, don't go past the outhouse. Like, don't go behind it. She said it's just like really negative energy over there. You know, you just don't need to go over there. So everybody starts going off on their own, taking pictures. Rich leaves me.
Oh my god, if I would have gotten left, divorce.
I was
What the fuck are you leaving me for?
120% into this though, and I was kind of like, leave me alone. I'm trying to get haunted. And she told us, she's like, if you're accepting and you're not necessarily a believer, but if you're accepting of a spirit, you will see one or you will experience something. And she said, they're not going to come to you if you're like putting off a vibe that you don't want to be scared, you know? So at this point,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to get haunted. I want to see something. I want to experience something. Like, this was blowing my mind. So I go off on my own. Rich leaves me to go off on his own. But he doesn't go to, like, explore. He goes to the woman, and of course he wants to know why we can't go behind the outhouse. He's that person.
A typical boy.
Yeah. She specifically said, like, don't ask me about it. I don't want to talk about it. We just don't go back there. And we haven't for a few tours. And so Rich is like, well, why not? And she said that she and another tour group experienced something demonic in that park behind the outhouse. And I was like, well, that's crazy. Like, I don't believe that for a bit. I just don't believe that. And so we go off on our own and we take pictures. I picked the tree that I thought was the negative energy tree because I just like...
This tree is looking hella shady.
I just stood beside it, and it freaked me the fuck out because there was like hundreds of ants climbing all over it, and I just felt weird being next to it. So I was like, this is the tree I'm going to tell her about, and I'm going to see if I'm right. So we go and sit, all of us, at this picnic table, and she set up all the EMF readers and her spirit box and dowsing rods. Have you ever used dowsing rods before?
No, but those also freak me out.
Okay,
Literally anything that has to do with spirits that tells you that they're communicating with you freaks me the fuck out.
I had never used them before, so she only had like 4 sets, so everyone's really nervous. Oh, and she also brought like the little girl's doll. It was a little girl.
Oh god, no.
Little girl's doll, and like a few other proppy things, like balls they could bounce. Oh, and you know those Christmas lights that like point up at the house?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She put one of those up because you could see, if someone were to like walk through it, you could see a spirit or whatever because the dots wouldn't show up. Anyway, so we all sit down, and I'm at the side with like the little doll. So I grab the dowsing rods, and it's crazy. Like they will just stay still, but if you anyway, she started to talk to them, and she was like,
No.
you know, if she talked for a little bit, and then she was like, okay, I want you to talk and see, you know, if they follow your direction or whatever. So I started talking, and I was like, if there is a spirit here, can you move the dowsing rods to point at me? And so they went from the complete opposite, pointing away from me, and they both spun around and pointed at me. Okay?
No.
And I was like, well, that's cool.
No.
And then she was asking, there were 4 people at the table, and she was asking which spirit was with which person. And when she asked which spirit was with me, both the dowsing rods moved to the left and pointed at the doll. And so that, I think she kind of picked up that like the little girl was with me. And so I was like, well, this is weird. It's probably just like gravity, although it's weird how they're both moving at the same time. So I asked her, you know, I wish I could remember, Sally, I think her name was Sally. I don't know. I was like, can you point both the rods in the opposite direction, like have one point to the left and one point to the right, so it's like it makes a straight line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I asked her to do that, and she did it. And one moved by itself and the other one moved by itself. And then I asked her to point both the rods at my husband, and they did. They both pointed to the right towards Rich, and he was like, fuck that, don't get me involved in this. But then I convinced him to take
Okay, meanwhile, he wants to know why you can't fucking go over there. So.
And at this point, I'm like 100% convinced. I've asked it, every single question that I've asked, it's like moved the direction I've asked it to move. So I was like, well, let me see if it's just me. Although you have your hands there and your hands aren't moving, you know? So I give it to Rich, and I'm like, okay, you try it. And so he was smarter. He was like asking yes or no questions and telling them to move a certain way for yes and move a certain way for no, okay? So he asked each spirit if they were there, and the only one that gave the yes answer was the little boy. And so he kept asking questions. He's like, you know, can you point the dowsing rods to Caroline? And they would move towards me. He was like, can you point the dowsing rods towards the tour group leader? And they would point towards her. And I mean, everybody else is also using the dowsing rods, and they're having, one guy did not really have any luck with it. They just kind of stayed in place, but another girl had pretty good luck with it. And the tour guide lady was like, well, he's probably not having any luck because, you know, he's not as open to this, or he's scared, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the dowsing rods are what like really convinced Rich. And then we started to do the pendulum thing where you hold it, you like stabilize your arm and you hold it in your hand, and it should just stay there in place, right? So
it should,
I asked the little girl who was like near me if she could move it in a circular motion clockwise. And it started to slowly move a little bit, and then I said, can you stop? And it stopped. Dead stopped.
No.
Okay, and then I said, well, can you move it left to right? And it started swinging left to right. Okay. And then I asked her if she could do it, or stop it, and it dead stopped.
Oh my God.
And none of us wanted to leave. At this point, we were all so invested in this, and I mean, I wish I could explain, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, oh, your tour guide lady, like, set all this up. But, like, how? And she was just such a honest, like, nice person. She didn't even want to tell us that she was a medium or that she had had experiences before. She just had this business, and she was, I don't know. Anyway, I 100% believe that all that shit happened. And then when we were leaving, Rich again asked about the fucking outhouse, why we couldn't go over there, and he like wanted to hear more about it. And this bitch showed us a picture she took.
Oh my! I did not see the picture that she took of the situation.
She didn't send it to us. She just showed it to us on
okay.
her phone. Because we were all leaving, and I think I just said, but at this point it was like 1:30 in the morning, and she was.
First of all, oh my God.
None of us wanted to leave. She was like, "Yeah, we should probably go." She was probably tired, so on the
She's
way
like,
there,
okay.
are we done yet? We get to the parking lot, and she was like, I mean, do you guys really, because we kept asking her about it. She was like, I mean, do you really want to see the picture? I can show it to you, but it's really weird.
She didn't really want to show it to you.
No, she didn't, because she
God.
was like, it's demonic. Like, it's a demonic force
Oh my
that's over
God.
there.
Okay, continue.
So she kind of told us the story first. She had gone out with a tour group, and at the end of it, she like took them back, and she just felt something off about the park. So she went back to the park by herself at 3:30 in the morning.
First of all, who the fuck?
I guess if you are a medium, you're probably not scared of much.
Okay, I feel like you'd be more scared because you can see and connect, like you can be involved with all of the things. Like I feel like you'd be even more scared. Well, if I could see things, I'd be like, the fuck? No,
she
thanks.
Told us from the beginning, she was like, you have to be, if you do a Ouija board, if you do any kind of session where you want to speak with spirits, you have to be upfront from the beginning and say that you are not going to allow evil spirits into your space. And so we did that. And
she said, hello, I'm a bad bitch.
No evil
I'm the baddest bitch out here.
So we did that. Anyway, she told us she went to the park. She went back to the park at 3:30, and she was doing some stuff, and she was getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden this crazy-ass wind just started to blow, but only this one portion of the park over by the outhouse. Like, there's this crazy, the trees are blowing. It sounds like hurricane-force winds, but it's just that one area. And she was like, I knew I needed to leave, but I saw, like, 2 red glowing eyes, and I wanted to take a picture of it. I just needed to take a picture of it. So she showed us the picture, and bitch, it's literally like, you can see, like, glowing red eyes. You can vaguely see, like, horns.
No. And you saw the picture, so you, like, did it look,
Rich saw it too. What?
Like, so it didn't look photoshopped, right?
No, it didn't. And it was, 'cause I feel like if it was photoshopped, it would have been, I don't know, it's too hard to explain. But it did not look photoshopped at all. Even Rich was like, holy fucking shit. And everybody was like, okay, well, we should go get in the van now. Like, we should get the fuck out of here.
Because I think it's actually really late. It's time for us to get the fuck out.
And she told us when we got back to our cars, she was like, before you get in your cars, just say, thank you for communicating with us tonight, but you need to stay here. And she was like, that way the spirits know, like, they can't follow you home.
No.
Right. So Rich and I both did that. We also got back to the Airbnb and did it before we went inside.
Oh my God. But like, were you firm? Like, how did you say it? Were you like, my name's Caroline and thanks for tonight, but please don't follow me home? Or were you like, my name's Caroline, thanks for tonight, you had best keep your hoe ass here?
I mean, Rich was pretty serious about it. He was like, okay, you need to stay here. And I was like, okay, if y'all could like not follow me home, that would be
if you wanted to, you could, because I don't really like confrontation, but can you just not? Please?
You just stay the fuck here.
But if you followed me home, it'd be fine too, because I don't want to fight about it.
Oh my God. That was so crazy. I did not really sleep well that night. It's not that I was scared. It's just that I was like uncomfortable a little bit with what I had just experienced. Like, I was trying to process it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something outside is right now.
Oh, bitch.
Bitch. Okay. What were you going to say?
So just to be clear, you did not go in the lighthouse, right?
No, we did not, because they have their own tour. We actually tried to get on that tour, but it's like booked out a month in advance because they only do it a few nights a week. And she told us, she was like, it's not a bad tour because they give you the history of the lighthouse, but there's also 50 people in the group, and it's just, she's like, honestly, stuff like this works better in smaller groups because it's
Yeah.
more personal, which I
No, I
believe.
totally agree. Yeah,
Like I
because
said,
I
there
feel
was
like when you
only
have a
10 of
ton of
us.
people, yeah.
And I would have, and she went all out with like the EMF and the toys, and the dowsing rods and the pendulums. Like New Orleans had nothing on her.
No, it didn't.
I don't know. It was
Like
just
I'm jealous.
wild.
Like I think I would have enjoyed the St. Augustine one more because there's actually stuff to see. Like
Yeah.
things actually happen, but at the same time, I think I really just like the history of New Orleans because, like you said, it was more of like a spooky history tour.
Yeah, which it was
So I
still
liked,
good. It just
yeah, like
wasn't
I liked the spooky history that they were talking about because it was entertaining. But for actual like ghost encounters, St. Augustine, like hands down.
yeah.
And plus,
It
St.
was-
Augustine is absolutely beautiful.
It is so beautiful. We were there. Gosh, we were there for a long time, like 8 days, and I mean, we actually stayed outside of St. Augustine, but it was absolutely beautiful. I would highly recommend. It just sucks that all the historic stuff is so touristy that you have to pay for it. Like to get into the fort, it was $30, which I think
What?
is crazy to just walk into this historic fort. You're just gonna
$30.
$30 and everything, even to go through the little Spanish downtown that is historic, you'd like pay for parking. It was just we did the torture museum, which was pretty badass, and I did want to pay for that.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I don't know. It just sucks when you go to places like that and you have to pay to experience history.
Yeah, right. Like I
Yeah.
learned about this in class already. Let's do a quiz.
Yeah, I would definitely go back. There's other places that I want to visit though, and I'm pretty sure that any older city we go to, I'm gonna do a ghost tour now. Like
Oh
definitely
my gosh,
Savannah.
that's like so cool. You should totally do that.
I really want to. I think
That's
it'll
like
be
a really cool trend.
yeah, that could be like a tradition.
Yeah, tradition, not trend. That's not what I meant. I hear horns honking. Is that what the tapping is, or are you like haunted right now?
Well, I live in an apartment complex, so people park right outside my window, so it's probably
Oh, okay.
I hate it. So this was fun, and so next week I'm gonna tell my dad's story.
Okay, I'll tell my mom's next week.
Okay, and then we'll do some actual listener stories, which we do have, but I just want to kind of hold off since we're gonna do this every week.
Yeah, we don't want to like do them all at once, okay,
I
everybody?
don't want to run out. But
Yeah.
if you do have any kind of story, like a crazy ass murder that happened in a town that you lived in, or
Maybe it's your family or friends that are murdering.
yeah, or a
Tell us about
story
it.
that your parents told you about some crazy ass thing that happened in your town or something. Any paranormal, murdery, anything just fucking weird. Email us, DM us,
Slide into our DMs
slide into our DM.
at Wild and Woke Pod
Yeah.
on Instagram. And then from there, go to Linktree so you can email us on our actual email because I don't want Caroline to have to go through Instagram like that. Especially
did
my
get a
dumb
few-
ass messaging you, laughing at the memes you post. Like, LOL, the bitches is funny. And you're like, okay, thanks. I know I made it. I designed it.
Thank you. Wait, what is that thing? Oh, what's the TikTok of the week?
Okay, I've been holding on to this one. I sent it to you maybe a week ago or so, but it was like the cat when the person was bending over to feed the cat, and the cat was like, "Damn, what are you doing, double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon out here with all this ass?" And the cat's just like looking at their owner's fat ass. Oh my gosh, Piper,
Do you hear?
it's not
Okay,
cool.
you wanna hit us with an outro?
Yeah, you guys can check us out Wild and Woke Pod on Instagram. Also, we have our private Facebook group that you can get to through Patreon. We're also on Twitter, which is pretty cool. What? We're on Twitter, bitch?
We have
Um,
80 something followers on Twitter. Not to brag.
What? Not to brag, but oh my God. Also, everybody, we are on YouTube. So I think that we will have to do maybe one story a month or something where we film with our cameras so you can see how trash we look.
That's
So you
for
can really get to know
Patreons
us.
only. Sorry.
You have to pay money to see that.
You wanna
Which,
see me
I
without a
don't know.
bra and coconut oil in my hair, you gotta pay money.
You want to see me looking haggard and tired? Pay me to watch me drink wine.
We're making
I'll
it
show my foot maybe. I'll maybe show my foot for an extra tip. I don't know.
Hey, I'll sell my underwear. I'll do it.
Isn't that how Shane Dawson got famous? I'll sell my underwear. Don't think I'm fucking above that, because I'm not.
I'm trying to make that money for retirement.
Yeah, I'm trying to retire. Did y'all hear that fucking podcast? Go listen to it.
Oh my
I'm poor.
I love us.
I love us too.
I love this for us.
Yeah, it's not that bad. All right, bye, Beach. I love you.
Bye, bitch. I love you.